Alright everybody, we're here and I'm going to be doing a review of how the Street Aero kit for the Genesis Coupe has held up so far. Now I've had it on for a couple of months. I've taken it through everything, you know, rain, car washes. I've bounced it off a few road potholes. So I'm going to give you guys some ideas on what to look out for if you do buy the Street Aero kit. I mean, I have the rear diffuser, side skirts, and the front splitter as well. So the main thing you're going to want to watch out for with the side fins, I see people mount them in different ways. I mean, I just went with the flush against the back bumper look. That way it kind of actually gives the side a little bit of detail. But when you're fastening these to the bumper, make sure you actually use thicker washers on the underside of it, on the under and upper side. That way it kind of sandwiches against the bottom of the bumper. That way it actually grabs a hold, because when I first used the first screws that came with it, after a while they started trying to shake loose. This one almost fell off. The right side was still good, but the screws were super loose. Also in the back, so I mean you have more than enough clearance in here for any kind of exhaust. I mean, it's super open still, and this is with the ISR Brace Catback. So up here it mounts with an L bracket to the bumper. Now, like I said, I just try to keep everything flush with how it's mounted, but you'll actually get this top screw has a little nut on the back of it, and that'll actually shake loose too, and then this thing will be just dangling there. And with this thing hanging down as low as it is, I mean, I'm only on springs, so I'm not that low, but you can tell I've hit it a few times. You see it shaved down. Overall, the fins have actually held up pretty strong. I'm actually surprised about that. I mean, it does give it a super aggressive look in the back, and some people are iffy on the fins because when you look straight at it from the back, it kind of looks a little goofy, but it's like a love-hate relationship type deal. But the way this mounts in is literally it just screws into the top of the bottom of the bumper. You just pick your spot. I lined it up with that little edge here on the inside of the back bumper. Now, what you do have to watch out for is behind this bumper there's braces that run up to the actual top. Try to get under here, show you. I actually broke mine. So if you hit something hard enough with these, it'll start breaking off these inside little L brackets here. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 of them. Now, I mean, obviously you can get them replaced, but they will break off if the bumper gets hit too many times. So all 4 of mine are broken. They're just in the right position. But if they're not broken, it won't be this flimsy, because basically they're all literally snapped off at the tops. So basically it's just new. I just need to get new brackets. But so far this is holding up good. I mean, like I said, I've gone through it's gone through tons of car washes. It's sat out in this outside. I don't garage keep it, so it's sat outside this whole time, and honestly it's not really sun faded at all. It went through the whole summer, and the summer was pretty warm. Well, with that being said though, with the summer I did notice that the sides, so they give you these small little self-tapping screws to jump into the side skirt. It's like, I think it was like 15 a side, 15 self-tappers, and they're probably about that big. They're maybe the size of a little bit bigger, like a nickel in length. I went out and got different ones because I noticed in the summertime it started getting so hot along like the middle section, it actually bowed the ABS down and pulled the self-tapping screws out, and that wasn't fun. That looked pretty bunk for a long time. So I just ended up literally just like popping the whole thing off, shoving it in my trunk, and then getting longer self-tapping screws. I think I'm using like 1 1/4 inch self-tapping screws, or 1 inch. That way it actually holds a little bit better. And then, like I said, with everything else, I literally just lined them up with the body lines to try to make it as clean as possible. I could have come out a little bit more, but it was kind of like overhanging a little bit, and that's probably a lot to do with the smaller self-tapping screws. But it's holding up pretty strong now. I mean, a lot of the times you'll forget that they're there and you'll step out of the car and you'll actually hit it. So if you are gonna run these, plan on trying to like step a little bit away, because I mean, I imagine if you step on it hard enough, it will pull itself out, because it's not exactly meant for body weight. And then we have the front splitter. So the front splitter is like a love-hate relationship. Obviously you can see it's pretty dirty. I haven't washed the car in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, but it's not bad. I mean, it's pretty sturdy. I mean, I like mess with it all the time, like step on it, and it doesn't pull out. I actually have it drilled into the bumper on the inside and then fastened to the underside of the car where the stock underpan is, and you can just like basically just screw holes in it, and then it'll like fasten itself into the bottom of the car. That way it's actually like a chassis mount almost. Now the only problem is with the front bumper set up the way it is, it tries to bow up a little bit, so you'd have to try to find something, either fasten it in the back and try to find some kind of spacers in the front to maybe drop it down to make it like, you know, like a flat out section. Definitely you're gonna want to run splitter rods if you go to do that setup. That way it actually holds it up a little bit more, because I know a couple of Genesis guys now that have ran lips and splitters, and on like high speed runs, well, high speed for the Genesis anyways, around 140, 160 miles an hour, it'll rip itself off. So keep that in mind. And if you're gonna run the splitter rods, don't do the splitter rods from the splitter to the bumper. Do the splitter rods from the splitter to the inside of the front crash bar. Basically like how I have the oil cooler set up. The oil cooler is mounted to the back side of the crash bar. As you can see, it's in there. I should do a review on that too, because it wasn't bad, but at first I was having some issues, like the O-rings around the top fittings on the cooler were trying to leak and stuff, and then along the lines of trying to get it fastened to the car first, and then trying to run the lines and all this and that, but that'll probably be another video. But yeah, overall, I'm not gonna lie, for the amount of money I spent for it, it's not bad. Sometimes I wish I would have went with the carbon, the APR, front splitter, sides, and then found a different rear diffuser, maybe like one of the carbon ones that just sits over the overlays that sit over top of it. But overall, it's not bad. It gives it that more of an aggressive look. The rear is definitely super aggressive for what it is, especially when you like have an aftermarket exhaust on there. It kind of gives it a little like pop. But yeah, it's not bad. But that's pretty much it. I'm just trying to help you guys out if you guys are looking to get this Street Aero kit. I mean, I have a lot of stuff done to this thing now, but like always, like, I mean, if you have any questions about it, just go ahead, drop a comment. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel. What are you doing? What are you doing, guys? Subscribe to that channel. We got tons of stuff coming for this car. But like always, for any Jenny videos or for the Subaru SVX or maybe even the Mustang, go ahead, subscribe to the channel down below. And if you haven't already, go ahead, share it with your friends. Let them know Jenny boys are out here. But besides that, be safe, guys. See ya.